Good afternoon and welcome to Cardiff News Plus. It's 4:30. I'm Luca Peluzzi.
And I'm Priyanka Mehta.
A Cardiff mosque in partnership with two charities raised thousands of pounds this Sunday. The money will be used for people living in Ghouta, the southeastern region of Syria, which has been heavily bombarded over the past month. Around 300 Muslims made their way to the mosque called Darul Isra when fundraising activities lasted throughout the day. Lorena Stancu reports.
This month marks 7 years since the start of the civil war in Syria, but the anniversary does not bring many hopes. The last month has seen one of the bloodiest offensives in Ghouta, which became a strategic battleground between the government and rebel forces. Muslims in Cardiff who are worried about the escalating humanitarian crisis organized what they called a Day for Ghouta at a mosque in Patay's.
We put on these events sort of periodically just to do our bit of charity work, really. We can't make a big difference to the world, to the situation in Syria. We can only help in our little way, and this is our way of making sure that we try to do something to help what's going on over there, the people who are suffering.
Giving to charity is one of the 5 pillars of Islam, a foundation of Muslim life. People from countries as diverse as Turkey, Iraq or Malaysia came to the event. Among them, also many Syrians who made a life in Cardiff.
First of all, we are not forgetting you, or people of Syria. We are supporting you in terms of whatever you need. Now it's snowing, it's cold, it's freezing. People there, they don't have heating, they don't have any means of clothes or anything, so they are really struggling. So that's our message to everybody, to every human, that you need to support your people in Syria. We hope that one day all this suffer will finish.
Local businesses contributed with fresh food to be sold. Other people came with their own home-cooked cheese such as fattoush and ataif, but also local Welsh cakes. Each volunteer put their own skills to use. The international charity Human Appeal is sponsoring the event and will deliver the aids to Syria.
We have offices on ground within Syria and the countries around it. So as I said, we work in 25 countries and one of the offices is there. So what we do is we collect the donations here, we get them banked into our Human Appeal account, which, for example, £100. That can provide a food pack for one family for 1 month. And with that, it'll just feed them, it'll give them the necessities, for example, flour, rice, even water.
We fundraise actually with Human Care Syria, and our appeal today is for people in Ghouta, which is the surrounding area of Damascus, the capital of Syria. So people there actually under siege, they struggle to survive, and we want to provide them with the basic needs, especially for kids, elderly people, hospitals which have been heavily targeted by military actions there in Syria. We are safe in our places, we have access to medical care, we get food to eat, and we can feed our kids as well. Those people in Syria actually have nothing of what I mentioned here. They have no hospitals at all, there's no access to education, no schools, no milk for the kids, for the small little kids. So it's a moment for all of us actually to fundraise and to club with them and to say we are all humans, we are sharing the human values. And for human values we stand today by Syrian people in Ghouta.
If you want to try something new and creative this week, the Get Creative Festival is a must-go. Right up until Sunday, dozens of organizations around the country will be offering a wide variety of activities from clay modeling to dancing, poetry to music. Keshu joined in the fun.
St. Anne's Orchestra is an amateur orchestra who rehearse every week at St. Margaret's Church, and this week they are taking part in a nationwide celebration of Get Creative activities. A spring concert was held by this group of enthusiastic musicians.
The BBC Get Creative is all about people being able to participate in the arts and come along to things, so we decided that we would try and be involved in that sort of idea. So lots of your musicians that are playing tonight are orchestra members that are core members, but we've got quite a few people who've just come along and rehearsed with us today, so that they've been able to kind of get involved and get creative and perform with us.
This is my first time playing with the orchestra here. It's been a lot of fun and a quick learning curve as well, because the pieces are maybe a bit harder than I've played before, a bit more challenging, but it's good fun to try and play things and play with people that are a lot more experienced than you as well.
It's funny, it's a place to relax, but because you can relax in the intensity of playing music, of reading difficult music and interpreting it, and so I think it's something that does free the soul, and music feeds sort of body, mind and spirit. It's a very sort of complete experience.
I've always been a musician since I was little, and after the birth of my daughter I had quite bad postnatal depression, so for me this orchestra was brilliant, because doing something I love doing made me feel so much better, and it's been really important to me to come here and socialise every week doing something that I love doing.
It's all about making people feel the emotions and feel those sorts of things, and if you've got regular live music making, it builds the adrenaline, it gets you excited, and it always makes people feel happier.
Yet it was not the only event that supports the idea of being creative. Theatre Yola hosted a workshop to encourage children to try new ways of storytelling.
Aliens love underpants of every shape and size, but there are no underpants in space, so here's a big surprise.
Obviously we've got this weekend where we've got workshop facilitators, we've got designers, we've got storytellers, we've got actors, and they're offering a range of activities for families dropping in at any point during the day. And then during the week we're going into local schools, again with story makers, to offer schools little snippets, opportunities for them to get a taste of what Theatre Yola can offer, but what are the possibilities for children to be creative in a classroom or with their families.
The Get Creative Festival kicked off over the weekend and it will run through until the 25th of March. So why not come along to the event taking place near you and get creative today? This is Keshu for Cardiff News Plus.
85 incidents of hate crime have been reported in the first 2 months of this year in Cardiff. Hundreds of people on Saturday joined an anti-racism march in solidarity against the neo-Nazi messages that were splashed across the walls and storefronts in Grangetown recently. I went to find out more. The march started in Grangetown, one of the most multicultural areas of the city. Residents from various Asian and African backgrounds gathered in solidarity against neo-Nazi graffiti that appeared in the streets over the week.
It's something we don't want to see, which is why it's important that we're all here today to show the local community unity, that we're all against those kind of messages, that we're celebrating the diversity of Cardiff and of Wales.
Many people believe Cardiff is welcoming to people from diverse ethnic backgrounds. But some Muslim women say that they feel more unsafe than ever before.
Not racist attacks, but racist comments about me wearing the scarf, I need to take it off, I should go back to my own country, stuff like this, and it's very upsetting, it's very worrying. I worry about my safety, about the safety of my family.
The Welsh Government has reported an increase in 23% in the hate crimes reported across Wales in 2016 and 17. However, according to the South Wales Police report, the numbers released to Cardiff News Plus, there have been 85 hate crimes that have been reported in the months of January and February. People at the march were concerned about a 29% increase in the number of hate crimes reported across Wales and England in the year of 2016 to 2017.
Racism has not gone away. And it's something which, unfortunately, we suffer from because a few people in high places, newspaper editors, certain politicians, pour scorn and contempt on every minority in our society.
Marchers were even more worried about this incident of the spread of neo-Nazi messages, which has especially trumped the concerns among local parents.
Well, there are messages of threat, so I feel threatened. I feel scared to walk out. I feel unsafe. I can't have my children going out, and I don't feel like I don't feel safe sending my children to school.
Our streets! Our streets!
The annual event marks UN Anti-Racism Day that is celebrated every year on 21st March. But Muslims say in recent times they feel that they are easy targets, especially the women.
Sadly, Islamophobia and racism has been normalized so much so that it became part of my life. I have indeed faced Islamophobic abuse, being a Muslim woman who wears the vase veil. In fact, only yesterday I was walking in St. Mary Street in Cardiff and someone passed by and calling me terrorist, and not only that, but he actually tried to touch me.
An investigation into this attack of neo-Nazi messages have already begun. The beast from the east too, the nickname given to the weather front that has come in from Siberia, hit Cardiff this weekend with extreme temperatures and wind causing the sensation of -7 degrees in Cardiff. Although unexpected by many people, it was a likely happening to take place. Victoria Baruana reports.
The beast from the east returned this weekend, and while Sunday's weather caused flights disruption to and from Cardiff Airport, life is slowly going back to normal, with transportation functioning without any delays and most of schools open as usual. I'm in Bute Park right now, and tomorrow is supposed to be the first day of spring, but as you can see, the temperature is still freezing. It's 1 degree and it feels like -6. Although some people were caught by surprise with the heavy snow at this time of the year, it's not an unusual thing to happen.
We often get snow in March, close to Easter, more than we do at Christmas time, and people find that strange because they see snow on Christmas cards, but it's rare for us to get snow in December, early January. We often get it at the end of the winter, because to get the snow you need the air to be quite cold, and what happens is cold air usually mixes with warm air coming from the Atlantic. So the last couple of weeks we've had very cold air.
The extreme weather conditions make homelessness even worse.
Really, really cold, freezing cold, cold and wet. It was so cold I woke up with ice colds on my face, like, that's how cold it was. No whatsoever, nothing. I'm all on the streets, all on my own out here. It's getting worse now.
While the minimum temperature tonight may reach -7 degrees, temperature will become less cold on Tuesday and more like a normal spring by the weekend.
The Six Nations rugby tournament came to an end at the weekend, with Wales securing the second place. Rugby is much more than a final result, it's passion and values at whatever level you're playing. I went to find out more. Welsh supporters were hoping for a victory against France, and they got it after a hard-fought game. Inside the stadium, an ugly win took place, but many people have enjoyed the game anyway. Rugby is in fact much more than a single game. It's the atmosphere, its colour, its passion and friendship. But we asked supporters what they love the most of rugby.
Absolutely brilliant, especially the Welsh. As soon as you start getting some singing going, brilliant atmosphere, it really is.
It's a really good spirit of from team and supporter. And
this is about being united and being foes, not enemies, but like friendly foes, but enjoying the occasion.
It's a respectful game.
The Six Nations is coming to an end. Some of the best players in the world played at the Principality Stadium, but there are other people that every week play not for the glory, but for their passions for the game. On the same day in Canton, another Welsh team gathered to face the French. The local Veterans Club organised a friendly game with some members of a Breton team coming to Cardiff for the Six Nations. The match lasted less than a regular one. Most of the players were already far from their 20s, but this did not prevent the teams playing a physical game with a lot of scrums and sacrifice. Why they organise such games is very simple.
Yeah, it's just the atmosphere, and you know, they get to have a couple of drinking games, a couple of singing songs, swapping merchandise and stuff like that, and then hopefully we get an invitation back to them, so we go over to them, and yeah, it's all just, yeah, it's just about playing rugby and the community of it and friendship. The big internationals as well, you get the atmosphere. Obviously it's not as intimate as the small club sides like us today, but I think you still get that spirit with the other supporters. So you know, we went to Paris probably 3 years ago, and we ended up drinking with another French team there, and I sort of think that'll be the same today with the French drinking with the Cardiff people. So I think, yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yes.
Here in Canton, the situation is completely different. There are no national anthems, no flag and chants, for sure less than 70,000 people. But one thing remains, the love for the game.
That's all for now. You can follow us for more on Twitter. We are at Cardiff News Plus.
From all of us at Cardiff News Plus, goodbye.